Well, looks like we got a dead battery here, and at $100 a pop, or maybe 50, you can find one on sale. Let's try and fix it with some new cells. It works, but it tends to die out pretty quick. Just can't handle the current. So we'll take it apart and see what we can do. Let's see, Torx, safety Torx, with the nib busted off on all four. How convenient. So I don't have one of those. Let's take it apart. All right. Looks pretty good. Here we go. We got Samsung 15M 1650. Nice little package. You can see our spot welds in there, real nice and clean. So we are going to pull this guy apart, snap those off, and try and put some new cells in. Let's see how it comes out. I think if I just gently pull, well, you know what? Let me get rid of this guy. I don't want to release any electrons through my finger. Touch any of these two terminals and you'll see some sparks. So we got our main terminals here. We've got our balancing leads here. Keep the batteries balanced. Pretty clean design. There's no loose wires soldered on. It's all spot welded together with an extra lead going out for balancing of each circuit. So very clean little package. Alright, now let's go further. Now this is where we got to be careful. We do not want to touch these together. So we will very carefully strip this out. That's it, last one. Let's see what we got here. Our temperature sensor. It's nice I put plus and minus right in there. It's going to make it easier to put back together. Got our balancing boards, our main terminals. Looks pretty simple. Let's clean this up, get ready for the new batteries. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm really only concerned about the main positive and negative terminals here. That's where all the current's going to be. So these guys here, these four, those are just for balancing. There's going to be virtually no current in that circuit. So as long as I have enough meat on these two, should be fine. And we'll double it up too to make sure we match the thickness of this bus bar. All right, we're all cleaned up. Time for the next step. We are going to replace these 15M Samsung batteries with LG HE4. I believe these are rated at about 22 amps continuous, and what we're replacing with it is rated at 20 amps continuous. So very similar, but these must be an older battery because they're only good for 1,500 milliamp hours, whereas these are good for 2,500 milliamp hours. So this is a 1.5 amp hour, and after replacing batteries it's going to turn into a 2.5 amp hour battery and should have no problem handling that current. We're only off by a few amps. Plus I've tested these and they're quite capable. Now you might ask, how much is this going to cost? Well, we know these are about $100 new for the whole battery pack. I've seen them on sale for $50, and I picked these guys up for $2 each. So 5 times 2, we got $10 into it, plus my nickel strip, and that's really about it. So 10 bucks, and we're going to rebuild this thing, and it's going to be better than new with a whole nother amp hour capacity. Now, let's see how we're going to wire this up. We'll go ahead and start. We can place the batteries in, see how it's going to look. Thankfully they have these nice little labels here: positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, negative, positive. So it's going to go like this. And then we are going to need to connect this, bridge this, and do the exact same on the other side. Let's check our thickness here. Let's look at the nickel strip I've got. So what I'm working with here is 0.15 millimeters. And the nickel strip used here is 0.25. So to get the same cross-sectional area or greater, we're gonna have to double this strip up. This is pretty high current, so we want to at least match or exceed what the OEM did when they made it. So let's get busy making little sections here. Now we should have all the little pieces here we need. Nice and clean. Yeah, it should work out really good. It's time to clean up again. All right, we're back. Our nickel. Get our spot welder going here. All right, so what we've got here is a Suncoast spot welder, and go ahead and fire it up. We're going to be welding. We got max current, and we're going to do 8 plus 16, so we're just going to be 4 pulses shy of the max setting. I found that works pretty good with this nickel strip and these batteries to get a good weld without kind of overdoing it. Maybe a little on the hot side, but I really don't want a weak weld that's going to come apart in the shock and vibe environment these things take. Alright, now that everything's kind of set at the right distance, we can pull this out. Set it right there. And now we're going to attach our main leads here. We're going to do double layer, sandwich it on both sides. Mainly because my spot welder can only weld this thinner nickel. I can't weld through this. I can only weld to it. So I can weld two to it on each side, and that should give me the same thickness or more than what's already there. Well, we're back, and I realized I made a mistake. I forgot my insulation. Now you might think, why is that important? When these guys didn't do it, they just welded directly on. Well, they have a computer controlled spot welder that guarantees precise positioning. Why is that important? Well, if you were by accident to weld over this end cap, you could melt this plastic and short out the positive and negative terminals. Now, DeWalt or Makita or Milwaukee, they're not going to do that, but us home gamers, we could. So is this a little unsafe? Yeah. So let's do it the right way. Let's pull these off. Let's see how good my welds really are. Yeah, that's a really good weld. Well, at least we know the settings on the spot welder are spot on. We're going to double up and attach these lines here. There we are, all done. We got doubled up nickel strip on each side for the high current. We've got our positive and negative terminal with doubled up wire. We don't need a whole lot going into our balancing leads. It's really not going to be much current, but as you can see, these are pretty thin. All your current is through this and through here, just a little bit through these balancing leads. So that's it. We're ready to go back together. Does it work? It's saying no. Nope. Well, let's try and charge it. We'll see how that works. That BMS might be kind of confused. It might be in some kind of reset mode. See what happens. I'm just cleaning up and I'm looking at something here. Look at this. I don't know if you can see what I see, but it looks like it's nickel-plated copper. Look at that. Let's give it a try. No, not hot. Charger's hot. Woo-hoo-hoo, money. So, side note here. Look at this guy. Get some focusing here. Come on. You can do it. Look at that. Took a little sandpaper to it. That is copper, my friends. They have nickel-plated copper. Clever girl. I'm gonna have to rethink my numbers here. It's definitely copper.